basically just the faster ball. Yeah, but first I want to focus in on positioning, because the most important thing is with positioning, you want to make sure that we don't get in our own way, first of all, right? So like if let's say I get outside of this here, everything is just, I'm in my own way. I've got tons of energy leaks.
The first tip was to stay out of the way. Staying out of your own way means that you're not leaking more energy than you should, or really leaking any energy at all. The idea of this is to have the disc travel on a straight and flat plane without breaking that momentum and that transfer of energy. So what I want to do is stabilize the brace leg and hit the power pocket at the right time so that all the energy from my legs can go into the disc and out onto the fairway.
So a good position is one that makes it so that the movement is flawless. Once we do that, then we start a cascading effect from the power, from the ground specifically, right? So let's push off all the way up, all the way out to our throw. And it's the cascading effect of that. And that's what creates that lag.
Yeah.
Right? In the same way of a whip, where it slowly gets added on until we get to that last moment. Because if one goes out of time,
Right,
it screws up the entire chain,
right,
and we basically lose all of this power. That's what's happening with you right now.
Hey everybody, it's Antonio. Welcome back to another episode here on Gladiator Disc Golf. I'm so excited about today's video because, as you guys already saw a few seconds ago, I have somebody named Kade helping me improve my form and work out a couple kinks in my backhand throw. One of the things that's unique about Kade is that he has a bio-mechanist background, meaning he's very familiar with how the body works, the kinesiology, the athletic side of things, and a fundamental understanding of our body's movement and how to generate efficient movements in everything that we do. So like you saw in the thumbnail, there are 11 things that we are going to be talking about. So we're going to go through them pretty quickly. If there is a tip that you see that you want a full-length video on, you want me to delve into the details and really break it down for you, do two things for me. Like this video and comment down below which tip that you want to hear more information about. There's no way that I could go in depth on every single tip that Kade gives me, but I wanted to definitely share them with you in case one or a couple of them resonate with you guys as well. Tip number 3 is moving the heel, and this was actually one of the hardest things for me to do because I've spent the last 3-4 years keeping my foot perpendicular to the tee pad. But here what we actually want to do for a full powered shot is get the heel. So if this is my foot and this is the front of the tee pad and my fingers are my toes, I actually want my toes slightly pointed away from the tee pad.
This stays cut in. If we're flat, we start opening our hips up. We don't have as much range of motion. Okay? We want to load that hip, really shove into that hip. We're throwing through like that.
Okay.
Perfect.
The fourth tip is to create the power pocket in the 10 o'clock release. Now, one of my most popular videos for a lot of people is the 10 o'clock release video. And I stand by everything that I talked about in that video. But one thing that Kade clarified for me is that the 10 o'clock is not out in front of your chest, it's further up.
The disc comes into this point right here with my arm at this angle.
Yes.
It's not a popping out back here.
Mm-hmm. It's literally, if you watch it from overhead, I'll try to show you very close, like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So it's that width. The deeper you get into this, the higher it accelerates, and the deeper you get into this, that's how far it's going to go.
One of the most common mistakes for a lot of disc golfers, and one that I've been cognizant of, but I don't always execute it properly, is not being a selfish thrower. And what that means is I'm actually standing on the line that I want to throw.
I don't want you to be a selfish thrower. And by that, what I mean is that what a lot of people will do is they'll pick a line, they'll put themselves on that line. They're like, okay, I'm going to be on the line there, and that's where I'm going to throw.
Right.
It just goes out to the side.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've had that thought.
Exactly. So we want to take the disc and we go, listen, I'm going to put the disc on that line. I'm going to be out of the way, and I pull that disc on that line, and I'm over top of that line, if that makes sense.
The sixth tip is to glide, not shift weight. Now, I know this kind of sounds like semantics and we're kind of just word splicing here, but there is a big difference between shifting weight and gliding with your weight. The biggest difference is that when you're gliding, you're keeping your center in the center. And what I mean by that is your hips and your shoulders are staying centrally located to your body's movement, whereas shifting can kind of get you a little off balance.
Now, one thing, like I've always practiced mimicking the shift of an X if I go from my back leg and popping into my front. That's good.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, right here is we're gonna do that. It's a glide. It's less of a shift. I don't like to think about it as a shift because we tend to go.
I think of like shifting your weight. But
a glide through, just
glide
like that.
through. Okay. Glide.
Oh, good.
I feel better.
The seventh thing is to keep your hips closed for as long as possible. Why is that so important? Because if you actually open up your hips early, not only do you lose power, but you actually end up popping up on your throw, which is going to bring your chest in the way, which then means you're either going to round or the disc is going to hit your chest. And obviously none of those things are great. So we don't want to do that. So keeping those hips closed for as long as possible and allowing the cascading effect to happen is the best bet for opening them at the right time. One thing I struggled with for a long time is actually maintaining my brace and staying balanced. This is something I've struggled with, and it's been a very, very slow progress for me. But working on these skills, it's definitely going to help me improve that.
Question.
Yeah.
As I'm thinking about hitting this, getting that max power, my trail leg is what I call it, from my hurdling days, the last leg that comes over. Should I focus on that staying square, or is it okay for me to come around like this, or does that mean I lost my brace?
That means that you lost your balance. It usually means that you opened your hip up. If you watch controlled shots of like Ben Calloway, you'll watch him where he'll throw.
Or like Drew Gibson, he'll pop his knee up.
Exactly. It's just demonstrating balance, and that's going to improve your accuracy. As you're learning it right now, I don't expect you to have perfect balance.
Right.
I mean, ideally we'd get to that point,
Yeah.
but if you're falling off here, that means that during your throw, you either opened your hips up early, or a lot of times that'll happen if people overstep forward, because that's right. That's one way to get an Annie, is to step further forward this way, because that throws you to, or forces you to do that.
Okay.
One thing I've done to really create a bad habit is sort of rotating through my brace leg. What I want to do is rotate around or on, depending on the verbiage, whatever you prefer. But the last thing you want to do is rotate through it.
So one thing you're doing just while you're practicing right now, you're letting your front leg leak outside. Right? What that means is that I cannot physically brace here, which this gets outside, everything leaks. This I've lost my brace per se. And the energy leaks there, and that's no good. So we still want to stay behind that leg.
And like Kade mentioned, the cascading effect, if one thing is out of place, everything before it is lost. And so you end up throwing with depleted power. And so we want to make sure that we keep everything in line. Probably one of my favorite tips of the day was chin over wrist over toe. Having this alignment and actually knowing that it's not perfectly vertical, but it's almost kind of slanted, is a great picture image to just have in your brain of what you want to do. And it's a great way for you to really understand how and where to form that power pocket coming into the front of your chest and shoulder. And so when you have these three things all lined up, it's going to help you hit that time and time again. It's also going to reinforce keeping your head down a little bit when you throw instead of up or forward during your throw. And then the final one is maintaining an athletic position. You know, disc golf is a fun game, and sometimes we know that people are athletes when they play, but we sort of forget the importance of an athletic position, or at least for me, I guess I should just speak for myself. I have forgotten the importance of that athletic position. So many times I thought if I keep my torso straight, I'm going to throw flat. If I lean back, I'm going to throw Anheuser. And then obviously leaning forward, I'm going to throw Heiser. But the thing is, if you're too upright, you're going to actually be throwing with Anheuser because your chest is in the way. So maintaining that athletic position actually puts a little bit of curvature in your back and helps you create this power pocket going in through your arm and through your chest. And so maintaining that, getting those knees bent, and being nice and loose is the best way to get the best accuracy, the best consistency, and throwing the most efficiently.
So I don't want it like this, I want it like basically like that.
You're literally, so your elbow is going to be up, and it's going to be underneath. You can feel how that tension's there. And so watch this quickly. So you're going to start pulling. You're going to pull just like you're doing your normal motion. Pull it in the pocket. You feel that?
My arm naturally went.
It went ready to do that. All you have to do is guide it out. That's all we gotta do. Green.
Oh.
That was a lot of power.
Yeah.
Now let's finish through it.
Yeah.
Good. That's freaking awesome.
That had some nice snap to it.
And that's basically it, everybody. 11 magnificent and just ginormous tips. There is so much information in this video, and I really hope that you found it helpful. Once again, if you loved this video, please go ahead and like it so that other people in the YouTube world can find it. And also, if there is just one of these tips that helped you and you want to know more information about, make sure you comment about that tip and maybe even a specific question you have. That way I can put together a video that will help you guys improve your form and really start to look at things from a different angle. And Kade, if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you so much. As I've been mulling over the things that you taught me, it's really helping me develop my game. And to everybody else, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your love and support. Until next time, everybody, have a great round.